Yo, what's up you guys? Welcome back to another video here in the beautiful, hot, sunny state of Arizona. In today's video, man, I really appreciate you guys coming back because what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the top 3 reasons why you should purchase the Airlift Performance Kit for your car. Let's go. Alright you guys, so we're just gonna get right into it. And reason number 1, I feel like you should purchase your Airlift Performance Kit. I personally have the 3P setup. I know some people said, hey bro, why didn't you get the 3H? And I believe the difference between those, and you guys can quote me and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they have sensors on there. So if you were to jump in the car and let's say you had a group of people in there, or you threw extra luggage in there, whatever the case may be, and everybody's piled up in there, and then all of a sudden the back end of the car comes down a little bit, the sensors will adjust for each side, all 4 corners of the car, and make sure that it levels out. So I don't have those sensors just yet. Right now I have the 3P setup, where to be honest it's just me in there, and I don't even have trunk space to even put any kind of luggage back there. If there's any kind of traveling that I do or anything like that, I just throw the bags, a bag or two, whatever it is, in the back seat, and then we're good to go. If you compare the difference on what I used to have before compared to what I have now, it's literally night and day as far as the quality and the ride. So what I mean by that is, before I had the stock shocks that was in the car, so I'm talking like the original, the ones that came with the car. And keep in mind, this is a 2013. I purchased it, I got it in December of 2012, and I've had it ever since, and those are the original shocks. Now, you know, taking it to get, you know, its oil changes and stuff like that, like I did in the beginning, I used to take it to the dealership because it was a part of the warranty and everything like that. So I was like, I might as well just let them do it real quick. It's hot outside. I know that in time, as I've been doing stuff to the car, lifting up the car on a lift and going under there, I started to notice that I would have a little leak in one of the shocks that started leaking and stuff like that. So eventually you're gonna have to change them. Now the price difference, obviously that's a big difference. You know, if you're comparing the two, you get for what you pay for is how I look at it. So I had the original shocks, and then I had the Hotchkiss 1-inch drop springs that were on the car. Those springs came off of a track SS, supercharged SS. I mean, this thing was literally a track car where it was built to hit corners and stuff like that. So the fact that it fit on this, you know, was very impressive. So, and you know, total with the install and everything, it was like $350. Now, when you get the Airlift Performance Kit, you got to add another 0 at the end of that. You're paying about $3,500. But there's multiple reasons for that. So, number 1, like I said, when you compare it to the original, the whole ride is completely different. I mean, it depends on how you want to set up your settings and all that good stuff on there. But when you have the springs in there, they do the job. They do justice. I'm not going to knock on them. They did do the job that they were supposed to do. Now, keep in mind, it's leveled at just one level, and that's it. So if you're trying to clear stuff where originally that front splitter was 4 inches off the ground, man, like, it was scary trying to clear things. And I've scraped a few times, I'm not gonna lie. I went real slow, but you can still hear that scrape, man. And when you, it's like carving into your chest when you know, you can feel it on the car. So all of that now is gone. If I take a step to the side right here, you can see right now the car is on the ground, you know. So the wheel is tucked back there, and that wheel is a 345. That tire, excuse me, is a 345 on there. That's a 20 by 12 inch rim. And I have 1.75 inch adapters on there. And you know, some thought there's no way you're gonna tuck a 345 in there. Don't forget, you have the wide body, so the wheels are sticking out. It's not like factory where, you know, you can squeeze a 315 or a 325 and probably still bag it, be able to bag it. Just depends on your offset. You mean pushing it, but it depends on your offset. 315 for sure you should be able to tuck. It depends on your offset. You might need to roll the fenders depending on your offset. I know a lot of people would say just go 305, bro, or go 295. I don't like the back of the car to look like, you know, skinny tires. That's just my preference. I don't like that. You know what I mean? You could get the offset of the wheels to make them come out to give it kind of that effect. But when you're driving behind the person and you'll see, you know, the skinny tires, you want to make it nice, you know what I mean, and aggressive. So that's reason number 1. When you compare the two, it's night and day compared to stock, compared to having these. Reason number 2, you should get the Airlift Performance Kit is because you can adjust the ride height. And what I mean by that is going back to having just the springs in there. They're not like having coilovers where you can adjust your coilovers. Now, in order to even do any of that, you got to get under there and start tweaking stuff and try to make it go up and down and all that. So me, I didn't even have that kind of advantage with springs. At least with coilovers, you have a little bit. You'd have to do a little bit of work, but with springs like what I had before, I had no advantage to do that. I just pull up and that's it. But with the airbags, you can adjust your ride height. You can lift it up where it's about, depends on your settings too, how you set it up. All 4 tires, you can lift it up where literally all 4 fingers go inside between the fender and the tire, which is about 3 inches. It's about 2 to 3 inches above stock. So for me, that's really good because I need that, because the front end of the car originally was 4 inches off the ground with the springs. But now you can literally raise it up, you know, a couple more inches or so. You can adjust the ride height. You can also adjust your dampers right there under the hood, which I can show you guys here in just 1 second. What you do with that, you can make your wheels, you know, camber how you want it. If you want it to tuck, if you feel like when you air out the car it's like, you know, touching the fender or whatever, whatnot, you can adjust the dampers from up top. Very simple. You jack up the car, the wheel is hanging, you don't even need to take off your tire, and just there's 4 screws right up top. I'll show them to you here in a second. There's 4 screws right up top, and all you got to do is just adjust it from right there and tie those 4 little bolts back on, and you're literally done. Now keep in mind, those 4 bolts are with an Allen key wrench. So it's like, it's not like you're using an impact gun or something crazy like that to do it. It's Allen keys. So you just use that, adjust it, and then you can make your wheels camber right there, bring the car back down. Don't even take off the tire. You don't even take off the rims. Keep all that stuff on. So you can adjust the ride height as well. Let me show you guys what I mean about that little section there. So let's take a look right over here. So you see these little bolts right here? All you got to do is loosen these bolts, and then you can push this up and down. It has little lines on there, so you can make it even with the other side, on the passenger side. But all you do is literally loosen up these little 4 bolts, and then you push this knob, you know, how far up, how far down. Obviously if you push it more that way, then what's going to happen is the wheel is going to camber in more. So it's really cool that you can actually have that kind of a setting right here, instead of like, I've never owned coilovers, but I believe with coilovers you have to get under there and actually, you know, do the setting from there. This is nice where you can just do it right up here. So that's another nice advantage. Plus the car being so low right now, it makes it extremely easy for you to get to everything, you know. Like, I don't know, I just, even if the car is up, that's fine, but I hate like leaning over on the car to try to get to stuff. Obviously right now it's sitting on the ground. The front end is on the ground right now, but either way, I just wanted to show you guys that. And also what you can do is, you know, you have that setting for, like, example, I travel a lot, so when I go to California, or I go to Texas or Vegas for car shows, whatever the case may be, California's got some crazy dips. When you're trying to go into the gas station, you'll notice one wheel get off, you know, lift off the ground and stuff like that. And with this now, you can just raise it up just before you get there. All 4 tires, you know, all 4 corners, I should say. You can raise it up, and then from there just pull in. I mean, I would still go sideways just to be safe, you know, but at least you ain't got to worry about scraping. And then when you leave, you do the same, and as soon as you drive off, mine is the Bluetooth setting where you can just control it right from your phone, and then you can just hit it from there, unless you want to use the controller that's inside the car. That's always going to be an advantage. And number 3, this is the big one. This is where it blows people's mind, because I've seen reviews that they've done with the Airlift Performance Kit on a GTR where they took it to the track, and they had the same exact driver drive the same exact car. One of them had like specs and everything like that. One of them had coilovers on there, and the other one had the airbags on there. He literally beat his own track record by just a little bit, but the point is it was able to keep up. You would think that, man, you're putting airbags in there, there's no way you can compare that to coilovers, right? Because coilovers are, you know, you would think it's a stiff setup and that's it, you know, and then these are bags. How's that gonna hold up? Well, the reason how it's gonna hold up is because there's those 2 little knobs that I said where you can push that knob back and forth. That little knob, you can adjust it where if you want to make it for track, or do you want to make it for like a daily setup. So it has 3 different setups that you can do. You can make it for track, You can make it for a daily drive, which, to be honest with you, to make it a daily, what I would do is I would put the knob right in the middle, so that way you have a little bit of performance and then you have a little bit of comfort all into one. So that's how I got it set up right now, where it's right in the middle. I'm not tracking the car right now, so I leave it right in the middle. Also, on the third setup that you can do is show mode. Show mode is what you're seeing right here. That thing is completely aired out on the ground. You don't have to be completely aired out. When you pull up to the show, you can literally have a setting on your controller where you click that button one time and it'll bring the car all the way down right above the tire. Now, that's where like you're rolling into the show, just kind of creeping in type of a deal. You know, some people, depending on the wheels and the offset of the rims and what kind of tires they have, if the tires are stretched or not, like my tires are very aggressive. They're extremely wide, so I don't know if I have that kind of room where I can still kind of turn my wheels and the car is like that low, like it's right over the tire. I don't know if I can do that just yet. I haven't taken that chance, but it's definitely something I'm gonna look into. But I do know that I can go straight. I can drive, you know, straight through the show real slow, just kind of, you know, cruising through, creeping through, and then you pull up and then you air out. So you can do show mode. So you can track it, you can daily it, or you can show it. You know, and that's really awesome with that setup because you're not limited like I was with the springs when I had the springs. So I hope the information that I provided for you guys today in this video helped you guys out. I will be doing another video, a separate video on a review, a point of view on what I feel, you know, how it is ever since I've had the kit. I'll show you guys what it looks like, you know, on the setup in the trunk, you know, how we did everything back there and, you know, made it all clean. It's crazy. You guys got to see it. That's going to be in the next video. But in today's video, it was all about the top 3 reasons why you should buy the Airlift Performance Kit. If you already have yours, that's awesome. If there's any pointers or tips or tricks that you can let me know and everybody else watching, leave a comment down below. If not, if you're planning on getting your Airlift Performance Kit and you are looking for some answers for some questions you were thinking about, I hope I answered them for you. First time on my page, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. It definitely helps out the channel quite a bit when you guys give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and just let me know what you guys, you know, think. So in the meantime, between time, I'll see you guys on the next one. A Dilla Priminator out. Peace.